杀机会将白色和淡黄融为一体，这不神奇吗？点击的。
Alright, so let me show y'all how to make aggressive Baton Rouge loop for NBA Youngboy, Real Bleeder, just like any of them artists that mess with the aggressive Baton Rouge style, that whole sound. And yeah, I'm not gonna waste no more time, we'll get straight to it. So this is the loop. So yeah, there's that. So we started out with this piano. So I started with the bass line. I didn't start with any of this, so this is just the bass line by itself. And so what I'm doing is I'm in the key of F minor. I've said this like a million times before in other videos, but when you make your BR bass line, you only want to use certain notes. Just to get the general sound, you want to use these notes. You can use the other ones obviously, but to get that like aggressive BR sound, you're mainly going to find it in these notes. So the root note, which in my case is F, and then above your root note you have two half-step notes, and then above there you have two more half-step notes. So all these notes, the F, G, G sharp, C, and C sharp, these are all the notes that you're gonna find that sound in. And you can see my entire bass line, that's all I'm using. I'm not using any other notes. And then I'm just using those notes to kind of get like a general bounce. Like I think this is like a pretty common like sound, just that whole pattern. And then yeah, I'm just kind of messing around with those notes. It's really all just about ruling out what sounds good and what doesn't. So just play around with a bit until you find something that sounds good. And then I came and added this little top part. Now you can see I'm doing the same thing. I'm only using F, G, G sharp, C, and C sharp, like the whole pattern. So this whole piano pattern is just those 5 notes, which is kind of crazy. Honestly, I kind of just clicked in a bunch of random notes here and like it sounds fine. So really you can do that. So as long as you generally stay within those notes, it should be fine. It doesn't really matter too much. I know that's probably not the best explanation, but it's what I did. So yeah, the piano I'm using is Noir on the dark setting, and then I came down here and adjusted these a bit. If you turn tonal shift to the left and color to the right, it like makes it sound harder. So I usually do that. I don't think I have any effects on the piano. Oh, I just put the EQ up a bit here and then down a bit here. And then I got this other little piano layer that's like super quiet. This is just F minor like triad without the middle note. So this is an F minor chord right here. I just took out the middle note and just played it a bunch of times. And then on this one I just moved this up to here. So for these miscellaneous sounds, I said this before in other videos, but mainly when you do your miscellaneous, you kind of only want to put them on your root note and the 5th note. Like if you make a triad, it would be the top note in the triad. So for me it's C because we're in F. Unless you're doing like a counter melody with them, like if you're just putting the miscellaneous sounds just there for like accent, that's kind of the only notes you want to put them on. So if we go to most of these, they're probably all on F or they're all on C, just like all of these. You can see I'm following the same rule with all of them. So I'll just play all of these sounds together. So yeah, I use this sound as kind of like a counter melody. I just thought that shit sounded cool. You can see I'm still only using those same notes. Actually, this whole pattern only uses 3 notes: F, C, and C sharp. And then I brought this little sound and just duplicated that. You can't really hear it on its own, but it kind of just builds up against the other one. This is a little scratch that I tweaked a little bit. And yeah, like I said, a lot of these sounds, you're just putting them on the root note or the 5th note. So just play around with that. Make sure you're tuning all your sounds correctly, because a lot of sounds aren't tuned to C by default. So you'll put them in, and even though you're putting it on the root note or whatever, it still sounds weird, but that's because you gotta go in and you gotta fix it yourself. And then we got this lead right here. This is like a random Purity lead. It's the bell lead in Purity, and I just put a gate on it that just gives it that stuttering sound. Without it, it just sounds like, it just sounds horrible. Yeah, I kind of just add some bounce to the whole loop, and then finally we got we got the synth bass. Now, I think there's a common theme in this loop just based on like the piano pattern in this, but I'm kind of just doing like whatever sounds good to me. So that's one thing that I'd recommend like try to do, because a lot of people, when they come to me for help and show me their loops, it's like they're trying to stick to like a certain sound too, like they're trying to do everything in a really particular way, but low-key just like do whatever you want and just make sure that it's like in key and stuff, and it should sound fine, because that's where the real creativity comes in, is where you just do whatever you want and then that becomes kind of your sound. This is the electro bass from Expand, and I just put this little EQ on it. But yeah, that is basically the entire loop. I just made the piano pattern and just like spammed a whole bunch of miscellaneous sounds and then put this lead and bass line on it, and then I was done. That's really like the workflow for most of my BR loops. So I just make whatever the main melody is and then just throw a whole bunch of miscellaneous sounds to fill the space, and then maybe add a lead and definitely add a bass line, and then you're good. So yeah, let me know if y'all have any more questions in the comments, but this is the full loop. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all the support on the tutorials and just the channel in general. Recently it's been kind of crazy, almost at 2,000 subs, so thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.